We gathered real Pennsylvania seniors and asked them how they would benefit from an extra $1,000. Here's what they had to say.
Everything is so expensive these days.
Car expenses, repairs.
My groceries, heating costs.
Medications. Sure, I could easily spend $1,000 like that.
Through Pennsylvania's property tax rent rebate program, eligible seniors and adults with disabilities could receive up to $1,000. Check your eligibility and apply online. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
March is Women's History Month, and Word Radio celebrates Black women in education. Dr. Zenida B. Cole is an educational leader who began her journey in higher education at age 15 when she was admitted to Fisk University. This graduate of Oberlin College holds a master's degree and doctorate degree in anthropology from Northwestern University. She served as the president of both Spelman and Bennett College. She was awarded over 50 honorary degrees, taught at several prestigious universities, and retired as the director of the Smithsonian Museum of African Art in 2017. Dr. Zenida B. Cole is the definition of Black excellence, and WURD salutes you. This Women's History Month vignette was brought to you by Comcast, Keystone First, Bank of America, and the Pennsylvania Lottery.
We are the home of progressive Black Talk Media. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app. The views and opinions expressed by the guests, listeners, and hosts of any program on Word Radio do not necessarily reflect those of the ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L. O. G.
What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Hello. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Love and Life with Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Happy Friday Eve to you, as it is Thursday, March 7th. Ooh, family, before we get started or go any further, I should say, I want to let you know that I will not be on the air next week, but I am always with you in spirit, as you know. I will return to the air on Monday, March 18th, just to let you know, okay? Just to let you know. So, family, in continued recognition, I should say, of Women's History Month, today I share with you two women, yes. The first of which is Hattie McDaniel. Hattie McDaniel was an American actress, singer, songwriter, and comedian. She left school in 1910 to become a performer in several traveling minstrel groups and later became one of the first Black women to be broadcast over American radio. And for her role as Mammy in Gone with the Wind, she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, becoming the first African American to win an Oscar. The second that I'd like to share with you today is Captain Gabrielle Harding. So, family, you'll love this as well. United Airlines coordinated a flight with a crew that's made up of all women. The flight left from Newark Airport this morning, on today, yes, headed to Sarasota Bradenton International Airport in Florida. It's being dubbed a Women's History Month flight. The all-women crew is captained by one of two Black women line check pilots at United Airlines. Gabrielle Harding, or Gabrielle, the second in the company's history. Captain Harding is the only Black woman flying a commercial airline who has graduated from an HBCU pilot program. She is also part of the Hampton Six. That consists of all Hampton graduates who are now captains at United Airlines. And she is the only woman among the group. That, family, is today's Women's History Moment. I want to share with you today's Black History 365 moment as well. It is about Viola Davis, yes, the one and only. In celebration of Black History Month, not Black History Month, but in celebration of Black History, Women's History Month, and including the 65th anniversary of Barbie, Mattel honors Viola Davis with her own Barbie. Davis joins a growing list of Black women who've been honored with Barbies fashioned after them, including Tina Turner, Madam C.J. Walker, Ida B. Wells, Shonda Rhimes, and the instantly sold out Ava DuVernay. Family, that's today's Black History 365 moment. Yes, it is. I want to send a happy birthday to all of our love bugs that are celebrating. Just sending you all the love, all the love, all the love. You hear me? And if you are joining us by way of socials, family, share a comment with us. You know that Nick and I love the love any way you care to share it. You can even give us a call. Yes, you can. You can do that by dialing 215-634-8065. You can even call us toll free. You can do that by dialing 1-866-361-0900. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Family, you know I'm going to ask because I want to know how you're doing today. I hope you're doing well. I pray that you are doing well. Yes, I do. But if your light is shining just a little dimly today, or if you have a heavy heart, I just want you to know that I'm sending all the love and hugs to you that you can handle. You hear me? On behalf of your entire tribe and village right here, because we want you to know that you are not alone. You are so not alone. You hear me? You are not alone. I also want to send condolences to our beloved Patty Jackson. She lost an uncle in the midst of the gun violence that we've been experiencing. One of our family members called the other day, Sharon, and she was talking about the gun violence that we've been experiencing in the city. But one of the victims was her uncle. I believe it was her uncle. So sending our condolences and love and hugs to our beloved Patty Jackson. Family, I want to remind you that Level Up is back for 2024. Yes, it is. Celebrating Women's History Month in partnership with WVON Chicago and KJLH Los Angeles, highlighting Black women-owned businesses who are making a difference in their communities. You can nominate your business or one of your favorite Black-owned businesses for a chance to become one of 5 finalists who will be featured in a special, in-person, live, on-air Shark Tank style pitch party on Tuesday, April 2nd at the Fittler Club. That's right. The winner will be selected by a panel of corporate sector judges and will receive a grand prize valued at $5,000. Yes, family. The deadline for submission is Friday, March 22nd. Simply visit wordradio.com/level up to nominate the best of the best in Black women owned business. Level Up 2024 is sponsored by Comcast, Pennsylvania Lottery, Keystone First, and Bank of America. Family, I see you checking in. I see you. Brother Gary Bryant is checking in. He's sending love to the family. We send it right back to you. We receive it and we're sending it right back to you. Brother Nasir Butler is checking in as well. Hey, Brother Nasir, he sends peace and blessings to the family. You know we receive it and send it back to you as well. Eric is checking in. Hi there, Eric. He shares, hi, family. Oh, my goodness, Eric. He shares, thank you for being here, making a difference with love and life. You know I love y'all. You know I do. I tell you every day because I need you to know it. Malcolm is sharing that he is watching and listening from West Mount Airy. You know that's my message. I look for it every day. And Walt Reader Jr. is checking in. Glad to be tuned in. He shares, yes, I have my love and life red on tonight. I received the message. You all told me that red was my color. I think Miss Lily said it's my color. So I'm wearing my red tonight. So yes, I am. Brett. Hi, Brett. Brett Cooper is joining us. Oh, God bless you. Oh my goodness. I received. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. He shares that I'm a blessing and you as are you. Thank you, Brett. Thank you so much. Alfred Evans is checking in and so happy to have you here, Alfred. Brett shares that he's watching from South Florida. Oh, I'm jealous. I know the weather's nice. I know it is. So, family, let's get started because I want you to meet this extraordinary individual that we have in this hour. Yes, I do. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. A Seattle native now based in Philadelphia. Lucky us. Xenobia Bailey is a fiber artist, crocheter, designer, researcher, and cultural activist who produces artworks and installations inspired by urban material culture and what she has termed functional design. I love the spelling too. Oh, I love it. We're going to talk about that. An aesthetic that evolves from the creativity and resourcefulness of rural and urban African American homemakers, both historically and of today. Family, I invite you to the conversation with none other than Xenobia Bailey. Well, hello there, beautiful.
Greetings. How are you doing? And how is everybody doing? Can you hear me? I think I'm speaking low.
No, I can hear you well. I can hear you well.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome. Oh, I do see, wait a minute. I see Justine is joining us too. Hi, Justine. We're going to get to you in just one moment. Just one moment. I just saw Justine. So, family, Ms. Zenobia joins us to share some very, very, very important works. And Justina is joining us in a moment. I just wanted to make you aware that I do see you, Justina, and that we are going to invite you to the conversation. But Ms. Bailey, would you please tell us first and foremost a little more about you? So you hail from Seattle, but you moved to Philadelphia.
No, well, I was born and raised in Seattle, and I came to New York City, Brooklyn, New York, to go to college, to go to Pratt Institute. And so I just moved. I recently moved to Philadelphia I call it recently, about 8 years ago.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah. So, and I really didn't move to Philly. My studio is in Philadelphia. So I still pretty much live in New York, but my studio space is here, and I spend the majority of my time here in Philadelphia. It's a better working atmosphere, I
Well,
feel.
we like to hear that. We do like to hear that. We do. But Seattle, I love Seattle. It's so interesting to me to hear you say that because but I guess, when you're in a different space, there's so much more to draw from So that makes sense. That makes so much sense to me. So you're
Right.
here today to talk with us about the Historical Society of Pennsylvania and an event, a specific event,
Mhm.
an event that's taking place on March 13th, to be exact. Is that correct? At 6:30 p.m.
Correct. Uh-huh.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, can you tell us about the event, please?
Well, it's an artist talk, and what I'm going to be talking about is how I came to the Historical Society of Pennsylvania, and it was I had rec- well, okay, my practice is I studied industrial design in school at Pratt. But while I was studying industrial design, when we studied the history of design, we were only studying European design. And I was asking my instructor, well, what about, the American design, and specifically African American design? And my instructor told me there was no such thing as that. So I told him, yes, there was, because I was raised in a very African American material culture. Because in Seattle, Washington, this is during segregation. It was a lot of the Black people that lived there migrated from Oklahoma and Texas, and
Okay.
migrated straight from sharecroppers. And when they came to Seattle, they pretty much brought that culture with them from sharecropping, and they made everything. And when they made
Mhm.
everything, they created it with their own aesthetic. So my parents put our house together, and pretty much everybody in our neighborhood. Seattle doesn't have very many Black people there, but we had a very tight community. And Seattle was kind of segregated with the people of color, the African
Okay.
Americans, the Chinese, the Japanese, who had just gotten out of concentration camps when I was born, and then the Native Americans, the Filipinos, and the Pacific Islanders. And everybody pretty much practiced their culture within their communities, and each community would come to whichever culture was celebrating whatever. Like the Japanese would have a Bonadori or the Cherry Blossom Festival. It wouldn't be like season when they would just have beautiful cherry blossoms, but they would put on their kimonos and serve tea and do the tea ceremony. It would be a deep dive into that culture, and everybody from different other communities would be the honored guest.
Mm. Oh,
You
wow.
Could I continue?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Okay. And so then and each community pretty much did that. And then African Americans, we did, our barbecues, and we had a raw in one of the high school um, uh, play fields and stuff. So it was a very, they brought the culture from the South where they came from. But when you go into their home, pretty much everybody ate their cultural food, and their material culture was from their culture. And the African Americans that had migrated from the Southwest brought a very unique aesthetic, which I thought that was, the aesthetic. So my mother, she didn't do crocheting or quilting or anything, but she would go to the Salvation Army and buy these crocheted Afghans and these quilts and drape them over our fabric and over our furniture. My mother was a domestic worker, and whenever one of the house she worked, was employed in 5 different households.
Oh,
She would
wow.
Yeah, she would do 2 or 3 households a week, different households. Well, 1 or 2 different households a week. But whenever they did interior decorating, they would give out. They would either send their older furniture to the Salvation Army or give it to my mother. But my mother wasn't into the French provincial. She had to kind of alter the aesthetic, and that's
Okay.
much where my funk aesthetic came in, because my mother it was like vibrational interior decor,
Oh,
but she had a handle on it. Pretty much all the Black folks in the in our community had a real strong handle on interior design and interior decorating. My mother used to get House Beautiful magazine, so she was into all that stuff, but she would alter it so it would go with, we wouldn't feel alien in our household. But anyway, so I, pretty much I saw one of the questions was when did I become an artist? I was always an artist. The beings that my mother and father were extremely creative because they had to be to survive. We pretty much, we lived off the land. They hunted, fished, it wasn't uncommon for us to get up in the morning and our bathtub would be full of catfish because my father went fishing in the morning and that was going to be our evening dinner.
Wow.
And sometimes, like after school, we would all go fishing, and that would be, we didn't have, any kind of protein or whatever. That's what, we were, but I always thought it was a recreational thing, because it was all fun. And we lived off the almanac because, being that they were sharecroppers.
Oh, wow.
To live off the almanac, so that's how my father knew. That's how come he could have a bathtub full of catfish, when he with a pole, he fished with a basket, and he would read the almanac to find when the schools of fish were coming through. You have a question?
You know what? That is such a lost experience on our people. I'm going to interrupt you for one moment if I can, because we have to take a short commercial break. Family, for those of you that have just joined us, welcome. You're tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD. We are talking with Ms. Xenobia Bailey. And when we come back, we're going to invite Justina Barrett to the conversation so that we can talk more about the upcoming event and share something else that is even more special. So stay with us because we will be right back.
Okay, remember what I told you. Be your own boss, love yourself, level up.
Level Up is back for 2024, celebrating Women's History Month in partnership with WVON Chicago and KJLH Los Angeles, highlighting Black women-owned businesses who are making a difference in their communities. You can nominate your business or one of your favorite Black women-owned businesses for a chance to become one of 5 finalists who will participate in an in-person, live on-air Shark Tank-style pitch party on Tuesday, April 2nd at the Fittler Club. The winner will be selected by a panel of corporate sector judges and will receive a grand prize valued at $5,000. Deadline for submissions is Friday, March 22nd. Visit wordradio.com/level up to nominate the best of the best in Black women-owned businesses. Level Up 2024 is brought to you by Comcast, the Pennsylvania Lottery, Keystone First, and Bank of America.
Level up, level up, level up.
Word Radio Digital Tip of the Month with Stephanie Humphrey is brought to you by Comcast.
The recent AT&T wireless outage caused a huge inconvenience for a lot of people. Not having cell service for any length of time can be a serious matter, so here are a few things you can do if your cell service gets interrupted. Both iPhones and Android phones allow Wi-Fi calling, meaning you can make phone calls while connected to Wi-Fi instead of over your cellular connection. You may have to dig into your phone's settings to enable it, and you will need a Wi-Fi signal to use the feature. You can also use apps like WhatsApp, Telegram, or Messenger to communicate with others over Wi-Fi as well. FaceTime on iPhones and Google Voice on Android phones are another way to stay in touch when you don't have a cell signal. And even if you don't have cell service or Wi-Fi, you should still be able to dial 911. It can be a pain when cell service goes down, but it doesn't mean you have to lose touch completely. Stay tuned to WURD for more tips and stay connected with us at wordradio.com.
Courage. I learned it from my adoptive mom. Hold my hand.
You hold my hand. Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
To celebrate International Women's Day, care and acclaimed photographer Nigel Barker traveled to Sierra Leone to take portraits of 7 women leaders. See the incredible portraits and stories at care.org/she-leads.
I need some extra money. Do I qualify for the Earned Income Tax Credit?
Use the EITC Assistant tool. With just a little information, this tool helps you calculate eligibility with ease and accuracy, get an estimate of how much credit you qualify for, and get a printout of your results before you prepare your return or visit your tax preparer. To use the EITC Assistant tool and see if you're eligible to claim a credit, visit irs.gov/ EITC.
We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of progressive Black talk media, WURD.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. What happened there? We've got a lot going on, I see. Family, welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are talking with Xenobia Bailey in this hour. And as promised, I was sharing with you that we were going to join Justina Barrett from the Historical Society when we come back from commercial break. Before we continue the conversation, I want to go to our phone lines because one of our family members has been waiting patiently to join the conversation. Hello, and thank you so much for calling, and thank you for your patience.
Well, for you, I'll wait forever.
Oh, Tyrone. I love Bug.
It's my love. How is my love?
I have no complaints. I will not complain.
Well, I thank you for not having any complaints. And you know, anytime we need love like never before, I know where to call because we know where the love is.
You sure do.
Peace and blessings. Much love and respect to you, your guests, my WURD family. And without a doubt, I want to give all you fabulous ladies the very best, the great, the most precious women history month, because I know each and every one of you are doing your share to make this world a better place for all of us. And I just thank every one of you for your motherly love, your war of the spirit, and all that there is in terms of helping us to be the best that we can be. With that, my love, I'm just calling to just say one thing about, the shooting. I'm definitely going to call about that if it's okay.
Absolutely.
Well, it was around this time last year where the 12-year-old was killed and dumped.
I remember.
And thank God for, my two partners that walked the street with me to try to talk with the folks in the community, just to try to see where this young man lived, that such a tragedy could happen. And from that day to this day, we see things are not, seemingly not getting any better. So I'm just calling just to ask you to do what you always do. Go out them hugs, go out them hands grabbing and pulling, doing whatever we can to deal with all the young people who are hurting. They got to be hurting. They got to be in pain. There's got to be something that is in them that will allow them to continue to want to take the lives of others. And don't matter where they shoot, how they shoot. And I'm asking myself, when they shoot like that, do they ever think that their mother or their grandmother could have been on the bus, their aunt? It's just one of those situations where it's a God thing right now, and I'm just asking God to help these young people heal, help whatever making them feel the way they feel, help them.
Mm-hmm.
And just, again, asking you to do what you do. Just continue to throw love out, because right now, what the world needs now, and you do it well, and I thank you, appreciate you, and love you for doing it. Pure love. Thank you for allowing me to share.
Thank you, Tyrone. Thank you always, always, always. Thank you for pouring into us positively. We so appreciate you. Family, for those of you who have just joined us, you are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. We are talking in this hour with Xenobia Bailey, and she has come to talk with us about a discussion that she'll have at the Historical Society of Pennsylvania. This discussion that will take place on March 13th at 6:30 p.m. At this event, she will talk about the deferred historical achievements of Philadelphia's radical Black elite from the early 1800s. So we've joined Justina Barrett in this segment so that she can share. Justina is from the Historical Society of Pennsylvania, and she's joining us in this part of the conversation to talk with us about the event and to share with us some of the images that will be displayed at the event. I do want to share, family, I do see that you are checking in. Miss Audrey, hi there. She shares peace and love, and she shares in keeping in line with the Sheroes. Shout out to Tyler Perry in the works 6888 All Black Female World War II Battalion. Jeff Mason is sharing that he's watching from Atlanta. We so appreciate you. Alfred Evans shares all is well, and welcome, Ms. Bailey. Alfred also shares, Ms. Bailey, someone is always trying to wipe us out, and thank you for speaking up. Eric is acknowledging that he's appreciating our eyewear tonight. So he's appreciating your eyewear as well, Ms. Bailey. He loves your eyewear. And Alfred follows up by sharing that what the experience you shared about fishing is a lost experience and lost or unused wisdom, to which I agree. Heather Wilson is joining us. Hi, Love Bug. Darren Lighty. Hi, Darren. He shares he has to tune in more. Much success. Thank you. He shares it's a topic and it's definitely something he believes that music plays a role in. Alfred, to Tyrone's comment, shares our young people all across the country need prayer, education, and love. So, ladies, I want to continue by talking about the event. If you would not mind, please share with us what will take place at the event, what we can expect at the event, and what the event is all about.
Ms. Riddick, thank you for having us on the show. And I just want to give the specifics and then turn it back to Ms. Bailey to talk about what she will be sharing with us next week. The event, as you said, is March 13th at 6:30 p.m. We are at 13th and Locust in Center City, and it is both a hybrid event and an on-site event. So you can register for a ticket both on-site and or on Zoom. If you go to our website at hsp.org/events, HSP, we're the Historical Society of Pennsylvania, hsp.org/events, or 215-982-6200 is our phone number.
No, wait, Justina, you know you've got to slow down. Say that a little slower.
I'll put it in the chat. I'm going to put that in the chat.
That's perfect. So I can share it with our family members.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. But I want to turn it right back to Ms. Bailey so that she can talk about her the deferred historical achievements of this radical Black elite that we hold in our archives. We hold them on paper, we hold them in written form and printed form and images. But Ms. Bailey is one of those amazing people who can breathe life into them. They're in the archives, but they need somebody like Ms. Bailey to breathe life into them. So let's hear from her about what she'll share with us next week.
Thank you for that, Justina.
Thank you, Justina. And thank you to the last caller. I shared the same sympathy with your thoughts. But I was saying that we had a material culture when I was coming up, an African American material culture. So when I went to school and started studying, and I was studying industrial design, designing for mass production. I had to kind of make up my own aesthetic because there was nowhere I could go to study material culture of African Americans. It wasn't even in the Schaumburg. I wasn't seeing it. I had to kind of piece it together and go through uh, images and fine art, and use like emotional aesthetic from the music, the contemporary music. But long story short, I graduated from college in 77. So I had been, when I got out of school, I started developing this functional design, and I started developing with crochet because it was something that was very affordable and it was easy to get. Back then we had the 5 and 10 stores, Woolworth, get like, a skein of yarn for $2 and a crochet hook was about $1, something like that. So it was easy to work with. And I was taught how to crochet by this amazing crochet teacher that was at an artist in residency that I was at. Her name was Bernadette Sonona. And so she taught me how to crochet in a way, because she couldn't read patterns, but she taught me in a way that she told me not to read patterns because sometimes patterns were written wrong. So, okay, I'm gonna get to the Historical Society. Anyway, so I had been, I created a creation story. I created folk tales of, early African American communities developing their material culture. And so, but it's all like, it's all kind of romanticized aesthetic from the domestic housekeeper. And so, I'm trying to congest this really over a lot of stuff. I don't know if it's making good sense, but anyway,
okay.
About 2 years ago, last year, no, really, I got a fellowship to do research on James Fortin, who I just had discovered about a month before I got the fellowship. And, because being a fiber artist and a textile artist, he, made these cells and everything. So when I started doing my research, I discovered the Historical Society. And when I went in there to research James Fortin, I found this whole community. I found this whole community that was like 200 and something years old, and all the documents and material had been in there all this time while I was in school. It was a culture that existed when my mother and father were on sharecropping property, living the way that they were, and they didn't even know that this community, this radical elite Black community existed.
Oh, wow.
My mother and father have passed. They never knew about this ever. I have asked scholars, did they know about this community? And they're telling me, I have asked adults here in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia, if they knew about this community, and they're telling me no. And now this has really flipped my practice, because I don't have to do this fictional character or this fictional, because the American past was so traumatic. I wanted to kind of take the trauma out of it with my designs. And I did with this fictional, aesthetic that I created. But now I can put some real meat on them bones, with history, because I got a lot of catching up to do, because my mouth stays wide open whenever I'm in the Historical Society going over this material, because it's very new to me. I've never heard a lot of these names before, ever. They're not familiar to me, and the images, everything is so it's like starting over. I have to, continuously read a lot of this material, which isn't new material. This material is old. Some of these journals are 100 or 200 years old, you know? So
Wow.
yeah, they had a lot of secret societies, but the secret societies were very sustainable, and it was really surprising to find out one of the most, because I always thought abolitionists were white, wealthy white
Mm-hmm.
people. But
Same here. Same here.
do you know who was one of the strongest group of abolitionists in this community?
I do not.
African American women domestic workers.
I had no idea.
Domestic workers. Yes.
Wow.
That was one group. That was one group. But they have several groups of these organizations that did all these special things to really to sustain the country, the Black community across the country, because they were having these national conventions.
See, this is so much of our history that we don't know. I had no idea. Well, I want to interrupt. I'm so sorry.
200-year anniversary. I couldn't help that. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No. But I didn't want to interrupt you because you're sharing history that I did not know, and I don't know that some of our family members know. But we have to take a short commercial break right now. Family, know that the phone lines are still open, and feel free to continue to comment on our socials. Whatever you do, though, stay with us because we are coming right back.
Meet Amanda. She loves to start her day by heading to her favorite coffee shop.
Morning, Amanda. Black coffee, no sugar.
Then, she usually takes the long way to share a little treat with Coco, Mrs. Lopez's little terrier. And when Amanda arrives to open the Keystone First Wellness and Opportunity Center, Mr. Freeman is always there.
You always on time, Amanda.
Always on time, Mr. Freeman.
Amanda has been a community health educator at Keystone First for over 15 years. She knows this community as well as the community knows her. As a local health plan, we don't only take care of members. For over 35 years, we have known them as neighbors, friends, and family. As Southeastern Pennsylvania's largest medical assistance managed care health plan, our roots run deep. Visit KeystoneFirstPA.com to learn how we can help you get care and stay well.
Want double the winnings and double the fun? Check out the Pennsylvania Lottery's double-sided scratch-off $1 million multiplier madness. You have two ways to win with games on both sides of your ticket. That's right, you get two chances to win for the price of one. There's no time to waste when you could be having two times the fun. Buy the Pennsylvania Lottery's double-sided scratch-off today. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Problem gambling? Helpline 1-800-GAMBLER.
When it comes to mixing drugs, you may think you have a safe approach, but the bottom line is, mixing drugs is never safe. It can cause serious health problems like a heart attack or brain damage. Learn more at cdc.gov/stop-overdose.
Want the latest in word swag? Check out the shop tab on wordradio.com. Hoodies, tees, and more in a variety of colors. It's the shop tab on wordradio.com. You can look good and show the world that you're all about Black Talk Media.
No, what's the word, boy? What's the word? What's the word?
WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
And we are back. Welcome back, family. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are talking with Ms. Xenobia Bailey in this hour, and she's talking with us about the radical Black elite. She's also sharing with us a discussion that she will have at the Historical Society of Pennsylvania, which will take place on March 13th at 6:30 p.m. At this event, she will talk about the deferred historical achievements of Philadelphia's radical Black elite, specifically from the early 1800s. Joining us in this conversation is Justina Barrett from the Historical Society of Pennsylvania. Family, for those of you who are joining us on our socials, I'm going to share a link that I'm posting right now so that you can see more about Miss Bailey and about the exhibit as well. I do want to share. Malcolm shares that he's today years old, knowing what you shared, Miss Bailey, just before the commercial break. He too had the same experience that I had when I said I had no idea. And Darren Lighty, he shares this is exactly why we have to be adamant about our history. It is truly under attack. We keep saying it. We say it every day, every single day. It's the truth of that. And Miss Audrey, she shares so that you can get your tickets. Do not miss out. See Eventbrite tickets for artist Xenobia Bailey. Miss Audrey, our beloved, our love bug, shares the information there on our socials. So if you wouldn't mind, ladies, because the hour goes by so quickly, and I know we only have a short amount of time left. There are images that you shared with me that you would like to share with our family members. If that is at all possible to do so now, I would love to make that happen for those of our family members who are watching. I know Justina she's looking for the images, Ms. Bailey. But in the meantime,
I'm trying to pull them up. Yep.
Yep, no problem whatsoever. In the meantime, Eric has a question for you, Justina. Are you still affiliated with the Philadelphia Museum of Art? And do you miss it full time?
Hi there. I am at the Historical Society of Pennsylvania, where I get to meet all of the people that Ms. Bailey is talking about. So it's been 2 years since I've been at the art museum. The HSP has incredible stories. They have incredible stories here. So I have to say, I don't miss the art museum. I love meeting the people from the past that Ms. Bailey is talking about. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Oh my goodness, family. I don't know if you are able to see this image, but it is exquisite. It is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Okay, I thank you. I started working in miniature. This is before I discovered the radical Black elite. This is the work that I had started. I wanted to design a material culture that could be manufactured or fabricated in the Black community or in the household, So this is all these furniture pieces that I'm designing are crocheted, and they're modular. They can be folded up, they can be thrown in the washing machine and washed and air dried, and they're draped over a frame. But this is I'm using the Black Barbies because I'm using that as a scale to design the furniture pieces. But I do rugs and soft sculpture furniture. And this is really designed for the Black creative community, the Black bohemians that go to these artist residencies. They're always moving around, doing shows, the world and stuff. So in order to really take their home easier, they're like gypsies to a way. It's easier to take these furnishings with them. So this was something that I did, and pretty much I don't have anything that I did after the discovery of this community because I just discovered them last year.
Oh my goodness! But it's so beautiful. So all of this is crochet.
Yeah, everything, the doll's clothes and everything.
Oh my goodness! It's absolutely beautiful. I love it.
Crochet, and then the next.
Justina, do you have another image to share with us?
Zenobia, do you want me to pull up the hat or the one that you have with something on your lap?
You can pull up that, and
which one?
Me with something, the crochet in my lap.
Okay, great. And I hate that I'm rushing because we only have a few minutes left. So I just wanted to make you aware.
No, not that one. Paradise, the one with the yellow.
That one?
No,
Oh
not
my goodness.
not that one. That's me.
That is now
Okay.
that and
Then
that's crochet as well? Was that
yeah,
crochet as well?
okay.
Oh
The one
wow.
with yellow with the woman with the broom.
I didn't, okay, this one? Not that one?
Crochet tent that I made. It was inspired by revival tents, praise houses down south, and a tea ceremony, but not that one.
Oh,
But I
okay.
love that. I love that. Oh my
Aren't they
goodness.
great, Ms. Riddick? Aren't
They
they
are.
amazing?
They
With
really
the broom
are.
that she's looking like she's hunting.
With I love that. Oh my goodness. I mean, it just looks so rich. You see the history of it all looks so rich in each
It's
one.
from the rural culture from where my parents are from. Okay, this
Oh
is
wow.
I created her. This is my mythical character, Sister Paradise. And there she has a folk tale. There's a story to her, and you see her with her broom, and everything that she has on is crocheted. She has an apron that's a mystical apron, and her headpiece, and then her dress, and her broom. I decorated her broom with newspapers and fashion magazines to, put flowers and adorn them, all that. But this is a mythical character that's inspired by the African American domestic worker.
But
So,
the detail in this is magnificent. I'm looking there's so much to see in this. So much to see, so much to take in.
no, but this is before I discovered the radical Black elite of
Wow.
Philadelphia. So we about to turn the page.
Ooh, my goodness. She said you ain't ready for this. That's what
Oh,
that sounded like.
I think we also need to shout out, Zenobia, that the HSP and the Association for Public Art, I know Ms. Riddick put this in the chat, have commissioned banners that will hang on Locust Street here at 13th and Locust that people can come see, that have your images of what you're describing as the radical Black elite. So
right.
there is March 13th, Eventbrite. We'll give you a promo code for your listeners, Ms. Reddick, that they can use to get free tickets to that talk.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I just put that in the chat so you can decide how you want to share that verbally or in your,
I will share that right now.
yeah.
I will share that on
And
our
so
social.
you have to go to the Eventbrite, hsp.org/events, and then get to the Eventbrite ticketing. And then if you use Friends of HSP, that'll get you, that'll reduce the cost to
So
come
family,
in.
I just shared that. I'm sorry. I'm
Yep.
so
Yeah, no,
sorry,
please.
Justina,
This is what we
to
need
have
to do. Yep.
interjected. But family, I just shared the promo code on our socials. It reads promo code for free tickets at Eventbrite, and the promo code is listed there, just so you know. Family, for those of you who are listening and are not watching, you're tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here at WURD. We are talking with Xenobia Bailey, and also joining us is Justina Barrett from the Historical Society of Pennsylvania. We're talking about an event that we all need to attend. The event will take place on March 13th at 6:30 p.m. at the Historical Society of Pennsylvania. Tickets are available at Eventbrite, and the promo code is Friends of HSP, and it is listed right in the chat for those of you who are joining us on our socials. I'm sure you're able to see it. Eric is sharing. Thank you so much, Ms. Bailey, for revealing these historic and knowledgeable journals. Best of luck to you. And Alfred is sharing beautiful art, just beautiful art. I wanted to share that with you because our family members are appreciating what you're sharing. Alfred shares it's very beautiful, as does Darren Light. He shares very beautiful. And Ms. Lily, our love bug, beautiful crochet artworks. I wanted to share that with you as well. And yes, we can say that. Justina, if you wouldn't mind sharing that information.
Sure thing. We wanted your listeners to know that the event will be both on Zoom and will be at 13th and Locust. So if you go to hsp.org/events and find March 13th and click on it, when you get to the Eventbrite, you'll be able to choose either a virtual ticket or an on-site ticket. So the same event will be live streamed, or you can see Ms. Bailey in person.
Oh, that's pertinent information. Family, did you hear that? So it does not matter. You don't have to be right here in Philadelphia. I cannot thank the both of you enough for coming to share your time, your energy, your spirit, your attention, your knowledge with us, and your talents with us. It is greatly appreciated. And I truly do hope you will come back. I truly do. You are welcome to come back at any time, and welcome to the family. It has been a pleasure and a privilege.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Family, don't you go anywhere. We're about to go to commercial break. And in the next hour, we're going to have Thursdays with Dr. Z, as you're well aware, because today is Thursday. So stay with us, because we are coming right back.
It's the WURD Hot 60. Hot 60. Here's the hottest 60 seconds you missed on Evening Words.
Yeah, I mean, and the speech is something that I think I don't think most people know about it unless they've, read one of Murley's biographies or really know Mississippi history. A lot of Mississippians weren't aware of it. They're modern day. But this was a landmark address that Medgar Evers gives. He's the first Black person to ever get to speak on television. Because remember, at that time, there were no Black anchors. There were no, Black folks on television. Years after Medgar Evers, a lot of Mississippi PBS stations wouldn't even play Sesame Street because it was integrated and they didn't want it shown on Sesame Street. They didn't want it shown on Mississippi airwaves. So here's this Black man who wins a landmark court case. And Medgar filed multiple court cases that wound up being landmark court cases, whether it was about school desegregation, whether it was about the right to march. This is preceding the court cases that we saw John Lewis et al. Win to march in Selma, rights to march, rights to be on the street and demonstrated in public. He was filing these cases.
And that's your hottest 60 seconds from Evening Words on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
It's time for the Philadelphia Flower Show, March 2nd through the 10th at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. Get ready to enjoy incredible displays created by premier floral and landscape designers. The show will also feature gardening ideas, shopping, free family programs, and educational sessions. Don't miss United by Flowers, the Philadelphia Flower Show, where magic happens and where people from all walks of life come together as one. For tickets, visit phsonline.org. Don't miss this phenomenal show, March 2nd through 10th, phsonline.org.
Stand with Word Radio as we continue to provide dynamic, progressive programming to inform and empower our people. We're living in unprecedented times, and we must stand together to protect and preserve Black Talk Media. Become a 4-Word member with the annual membership price of just $90 or a digital member starting at just $5 per month. If you're already a 4-Word member, sign up, family member, or a friend to help us continue making history. Start or renew your 4-Word membership today. Visit wordradio.com/4word or wordradio.com/membership.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
We see the urgent threat of climate change every day. Tornadoes in Texas, droughts in Europe, typhoons in the Philippines. But what don't we see? How the climate crisis hits vulnerable people the hardest, women and girls. That's why CARE helps the world's most marginalized people build resiliency and fight for a more just and sustainable world. You can help. Learn more at care.org/climate.
Starting March 3rd, tune into Afro Unity Beats, Sundays at 5 p.m., hosted by Brother Shamari, David Barnes, and Patrick Adzaru. Afro Unity Beats features contemporary Afro beats melded with traditional African, Caribbean, and Black-rooted musical forms from around the diaspora. Check out the weekly artists from different parts of the diaspora discussing the latest sounds from their part of the world and the history of their musical origins. That's Afro Unity Beats every Sunday, except the fourth Sunday at 5 p.m. only on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays. The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Remember the last time your family visited the forest? It's a place of wonder and imagination for the whole family, where stories come to life. And it's closer than you think. Ready to plan your next visit? Make the forest part of your story today at a local park near you, or find one at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Celebrating Black excellence worldwide and bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. So here we are in the second hour of the show. Welcome to the second hour. As you know, what we do on Thursdays is we have Thursdays with Dr. Z. That's my girl. Y'all know it's one of our love bugs. For those of you who are unfamiliar, Dr. Z is Dr. Zenida Driver. She is the executive director for Sunrise Community of Pennsylvania. She's a lifelong student of human behavior and social interaction with well over 15 years of experience as an accomplished trainer, professional speaker, and supervisor in the field of human services. And she serves as an adjunct professor for several esteemed universities. Family, I invite you to the conversation with none other than Dr. Z.
Hello.
There, beautiful. How are you?
How are you?
How you doing? How you doing?
Good. I can't complain. How are you?
I will not complain. I will not. Yeah, I'm not going to bring any surprises. You know, normally as soon as you get in, I have a question or, some surprise. So I'm just going to ask Dr. Z, what have you brought with you tonight? What are we talking about tonight? What are we discussing?
So tonight, and I believe you have the video, Carol, we are going to talk about this hot topic conversation that's been on Instagram around dating and can you have friends of the opposite sex while in exclusive relationships?
All right. Well, let me cue this video up. Niall sent it to me, so I didn't get a chance to look at it. So I guess we're all in for a treat. All right, here we go. Let's dig in.
Date a man that doesn't have any female friendships.
Bingo.
I don't want to date a man who only gets input from other men and who has all women in two categories: your mother or your aunties or someone I want to sleep with. You have to have a broader spectrum on women and their value in your life if you're going to be with me.
Totally. Well, first off,
only getting information and opinions from other men sounds terrifying.
Terrifying.
So I encourage that to not be what anybody does ever, but you're totally right, because the more we keep talking about, can you have friends of the opposite sex, the more I start feeling like everybody is like primal animals in a zoo. You literally cannot physically be around someone of the opposite sex without just like your clothes coming off. Like I don't
Crazy.
get it. I don't, and I would never have any relationship that I'm ever in. Like, I'm not going to tell my partner, you can't be around women, because if I feel like I have to tell you that, what does that say about what I think you're like when I'm not with you? That I can't trust you to be around women, that like platonically. I would say that says more about my choices and who I'm with, because I'm never going to feel like I have to control you or I have to monitor the friendships that you are in.
All right. All right. All right. All right. And there we have it. There we have it, family. For those of you who've just joined us, well, welcome. You are tuned in to Love and Life. It is Thursday. So in this hour, in the second hour, we talk with Dr. Z. And tonight's topic is dating. Well, I should say a member of the opposite sex, because we don't want to just leave this to women, but dating a member of the opposite sex who has friends of the opposite sex. Before we go further, though, one of our family members has been waiting to talk with us. So I'm going to go to the phone lines for just one moment. Hi there, James. Thank you so much for your patience, and thank you for calling.
I got me stuck on that one. I was calling to give a shout out to Mrs. Bailey. Let me give a shout out right quick.
Okay.
Thanks for the knowledge of our history. I mean, the signs she dropped, that's like, I was unaware of also, pretty sure many of us. But fast forward, Xenobia, remember a couple shows back on Yanni? Carol?
Yes.
So Xenobia is like on the same vibe. Okay. Fast forward. Elite, keyword elite. Elite. Black woman, strong enough to cut a tire with a butter knife. I love you all.
We love you more, James. We can't thank you enough for calling. Thank you for that. You gave me a little chuckle. He said, "Hey, Dr. Z."
Hello.
And I'm sorry, James. I didn't mean to interject. I want to share with you that Eric says, "Oh yeah, she's back. Dr. Z is in the house. Welcome back." Smitty is commenting on the video, and he shares that's not true to a part of the comment that was made. And he also follows that with, "So many people have trust issues." Miss Lily shares, "Good evening, Dr. Z." So, Dr. Z, take it away.
So I think that this is not a one size fit all answer, right? I think there's a lot of things that goes into this response. One of the things I believe in, someone I see says it, is having trust in your relationship. When you have trust in your relationship, ideally that does set the stage for interactions, because I do appreciate with what the young lady said is that you can't really micromanage every interaction that your partner is going to have with someone else, right? You're not there every step of the way. But if I trust you, I understand that you're going to encounter other people. And I think it's what we do in those relationships with the opposite sex that either makes our partner feel comfortable or could potentially make them feel jealous or something of that nature. So we always have to be checking in ourselves to say, okay, what is going on with this friendship? Am I doing something? Or is there something that me and my partner need to talk about that maybe we haven't addressed before in the past?
You know, I have to agree with you. I was having this conversation not long ago, and I was sharing that I don't consider myself to be an insecure woman. I've never had an issue with a man with whom I've been in a relationship having friendships with women. I've never had that issue. It has always depended or been contingent for me upon how he treats me
Mhm.
and how he treats her or them, what he's displaying to me, within that friendship or relationship. But yeah, that's always been the determinant for me. If if my spidey senses start tingling, then I know, okay, listen.
Let's talk. Let's
Let's
talk about
talk.
it.
Yeah,
Right?
let's
We need
talk.
to talk.
Let's
And
talk.
I agree. I think that also, Carol, to that point, it's the person you're in a relationship can't prioritize a friendship over the intimate relationship, right? Because then that does create some type of division or some sense of uncomfortability in the relationship. If I'm prioritizing an outside friend more than I am my intimate partner, that becomes a time that we do need to have some type of conversation.
Yeah. How about that? Let's see. Alfred is sharing friendships of any kind require maturity. How about that? Malcolm is sharing this is a very interesting topic. And Smitty shares, my wife knows, I know a lot of people. She also has friends. You have friends before getting into a relationship. That's so true. And Alfred shares the women on the video spoke with a perspective that is understandable, but there is not a one size fits all for most subject matters. His comment is that there can be a friendship of opposite sexes, but there is a thin line, thin line between love and hate. And our beloved Joanne shares, you knew men and women before you got together. I wouldn't like it if the friend never wanted to be around me. Otherwise, it's fine. How about that? How about
Mhm.
that? How about that?
That definitely would be a red flag. Why didn't your partner want to hang around me, or why don't your friend want to hang around me? That could potentially cause some type of issues. I also think one part that they kind of talked about a little bit in the video, but not as much, is I also want to know, where's my friend at mentally in their own life, right? Because if I am going to my friend for advice and they're struggling and maybe they're not in a good mental space as it relates to relationships, that does require me to be careful, right? Well, where I go and who I talk to regarding my relationship. But if we're just talking about a neutral friendship where I already knew you maybe from high school, college, a previous job, I think that raises a different dynamic.
How about that? So, family, we're inviting you to the conversation. We always do. You are always invited to the conversation. For those of you that would like to call, you can do so by dialing 215-634-8065. You can even call us toll free at 1-866-361-0900. Now, Nick, you are always invited to the conversation. So, Nick, what say you?
Hey Carol, hey
Hey
Dr.
there.
Z. Interesting video. I think it's a pretty good topic. I think had you asked this question 20 years ago, you would have gotten very different answers than what you might get tonight. I would say that it's more normalized to have friends of the opposite sex. I myself have friends. I have more male friends than female friends, but the female friends that I have predominantly come from high school. And that being said, we're pretty tight. And while I'm not in a committed relationship at the moment, I use my female friends. If I would use my female friends as a sort of measuring stick, to see, well, if this is my significant other, and you know me, I kind of want to see how they interact with each other. And more importantly than that, I think it's if you're a person who has friends of the opposite sex, opposite gender, you should kind of introduce them as soon as you can, so that you can put all your cards on the table, so that nobody gets surprised or nobody feels like, oh, you didn't tell me about this person. That's not one of those things that you want to, not mention, just because people can be. I don't want to say insecure because it makes it sound like it's a negative thing. I mean, it's understandable to go, oh, you didn't tell me that you were going to be hanging out with this guy or with this girl or whatever. But I think that personally that it's just. I think that your friends can tell you a lot about the person that you're with, whether there's somebody that you're newly dating or whoever. They can tell you a lot about how you interact with that person, and And they can get a pretty good impression. You know, if you get along with my friends, then I don't have anything to worry about. You know, if you get along with my female friends, I definitely don't have anything to worry about, because you guys are probably just gonna be cracking jokes about me anyway. But you know, that means it's all in good fun. So I appreciate it. I welcome it.
What, Nick? You gave us a chuckle with that one, but I definitely understand. And you know, the statement that you led with, if we had started, if we had this conversation about 20 years ago, that it would probably be different. I think there's a lot of truth to that. Times have most definitely changed. They have most definitely changed. Our family members are talking. Smitty shares some other female friends get bitter. Why are they bitter, Smitty? Why are they bitter? Eric shares, first of all, I think these young ladies seem to be presumptuous and a little bit demanding. Who I talk to is up to me. How I treat you is up to us. All right. Alfred shares, there are different kinds of friendships. Childhood friends, workplace friends, church friends, college friends. There are different kind of friends, and you have to treat them as such, especially when one is in a committed relationship. Agreed. And Malcolm shares, I'm usually the outside friend while the relationship is going on, and my male friends are married or are in relationships. Our beloved Joanne shares, plus, you have to have limits. Like most friends, when the favors and the time requests are unreasonable, I wouldn't like that. No hidden agendas. Oh, then see, that's not a friend. Yeah, no hidden agendas. Yeah. And Eric shares, yep. To Darren, to what Smitty shared, that some other female friends get bitter. Why do they get bitter? What are they bitter about? Then that's not a friend. That's someone with other intentions, in my opinion.
I would agree. I mean, because why is the friend bitter? They would want you to be happy. They would want you to have someone who you share an intimate part of your life with. So I wouldn't understand the bitterness. However, you know, when you look at it from a relationship standpoint, a lot of times, again, how people perceive relationships is based on what they go through in their own life. So, or what they may have encountered or what they may do. So really, we would have to really get to the root of why are you bitter? Where is that bitterness coming from in this friendship dynamic?
How about that? Family, I am enjoying this conversation. I am enjoying the different perspectives. Smitty shares, well, some friends don't like seeing other friends happy. See, now that's not a friend.
That's not a friend.
That is not a friend. Again, this is my own personal opinion, because that was a knee-jerk reaction when I said that. But I do not believe that to be a friend. If you have an individual in your life that is not happy about, that is not happy with your happiness, that's not a friend. That's someone with an ulterior motive. That, again, family, that is my own personal opinion. For those of you who have just joined us, welcome. You are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD. It's Thursdays with Dr. Z, and we are talking with Dr. Zenida Driver in this hour. Now, Dr. Z, I know you were sharing with me that you were bringing friends. And Noel has been waiting to join the conversation. Would it be all right with you?
Yeah, bring them in. I was calling in some male perspectives to help us out, Karen.
See, I love it. All right, there we have Noel. Hi there, Noel. Oh, wait, no, I think you're muted.
Yes, all right. How are you guys doing?
How are you? Welcome to the conversation, Noel.
That's better. Hi. Thanks for having me. Y'all see my bedroom right now. We tilt around here.
It's all right. If you had not said anything, we would not paid any attention.
Great. I love the conversation here. I love this one. This one hits a little bit home for me because my best friend is actually a woman. She is married. I actually walked her down her aisle, on her nuptials. I walked her down the aisle.
Nice.
But I think the friendship here, and even my relationship with a husband, I kind of have a different perspective, because sometimes she will reach out to me on certain things, and I'm like, "Whoa, you can't tell that to your husband, because you're gonna have him hate." Particularly on real estate matters, she'd be like, "So what should I do?" And I'm like, "Listen, you got a Jedi mind trick. You can't always say like, oh, Noel went. I ran this by Noel, and now I'm telling you, no, you gonna have this man hating
you can't say that. No.
And then I
No.
also know my boundaries. So some things I don't even like. I'm like, yo, that's between you and your husband. Because as a friend, I can't cross that boundary between her nuptials, between her and her husband. Because I know as a man, I wouldn't want somebody doing that to me.
How about
So,
that?
you know, as that friend, whatever sex you are on that side of that friendship, you have to know your boundaries as well.
Dr. Z?
I think that's great because that goes to what I was saying earlier, Carol, that at the end of the day, you don't want to prioritize your friend over your partner because as No said, you come to your partner, your friend first and didn't tell your partner what's going on, then of course that's going to create some type of frustration, some type of jealousy, some ill feelings if your partner's coming back and you said, hey, oh, I talked to Noel and Noel said, right, that would create that sense of confusion around what type of friendship is this?
Yeah. See, I was in a relationship where that would happen. He would say, yeah, you know, so I was talking to so and so and so and so. I was telling her, I'm sorry, what now? What now? Let me start this over. Oh, hey, sugar lump. I do want to share. Alfred is sharing. He shares, unfortunately, a person can be a friend, but the devil of insecurity makes the insecure person in a place of not having reached a mature adult development. That's a good point. That's a good point. Eric shares, they can be jealous, protective, suspicious, or all of the above. Sometimes a best friend can see and sense what you can't. That's a good point. Our beloved Joanne shares, I had a good male friend and I was single. People then always tried to say there was something going on, which made me angry. Understandable. Understand. Alfred shares, boundaries are important and wise of you to acknowledge that. And Alfred follows that with good word, Dr. Z, confusion. Confusion. So what do you do? How do you navigate that? How do you manage that? What you saying, sugar lump? When you're in a relationship and you want to, or I should say, how should you broach introducing or even introducing to your significant other, you know, this person who is of the opposite sex with whom you're really close and is a bestie? How do you?
I think that's something that's introduced immediately, right? And your friend, as you get to know the person, you know, for me, I've known Noel since high school, right? So to know him is to say, this is my friend, you know, my other male best friend, Roberto, who's actually get ready to get engaged. When he became connected with his fiance, it was like, this is my best friend. This is Z. And this is my fiance. And we just became one big happy family. I will say, and I did ask him to join in today because that would have been really good conversation, but he was busy. It took a little time because his fiance wasn't fully aware of me and didn't know about me. And so it took some getting to know each other. But that's where I love what one of the listeners said, maturity, adult maturity and understanding boundaries. That is your person. I will never expect you to hang out with me before you hang out with your partner.
How about that? How about that? I wouldn't either. I would never have that expectation, but I know there are people that do, and that's unrealistic. It's so unrealistic. But see, in that case, I say, all right, that's your intentions are different. That you don't just want to be a friend. That's the way I see it. You want to be more than a friend.
Secret ambitions there.
Exactly. Malcolm shares, he can remember in his last relationship, she had a couple of male friends before she met him. One was gay. That one, now you know, Malcolm, we're not counting, but I appreciate the contribution. Eric shares, listen, when in doubt, pray on it. God will always reveal an answer. Dr. Z, I give it to you.
And then I think it's important not to hide things, not to hide activities, not to hide anything that's going on. Because if it's a real friendship, you should be able to talk about everything. It's an open book. When it has some secrecy to it, I think that's where, again, that confusion comes in. Because why are you're having a conversation, you're going out with your friend, but I can't know that you're going out with your friend. That is where it becomes a question mark, and that jealousy and that insecurity and that relationship conflict kicks in, because now those boundaries are not clear. They're a little blurry because we want to make sure that we're doing our best to be open and honest and transparent as soon as possible. Because if that's your friend, the same way you'll say, I have 2 children, I have 1 children, I live in Philadelphia, I live in New Jersey, is the same way you will say, I have a friend and my friend is X, Y, and Z.
So if we could, I want to replay this video. Go back to this video and break down some of the things, because Noel, you weren't with us when I initially showed the video, but I'd love to play it again if that's all right with you, Dr. Z, so that we can talk about the video. Look at me, I forgot all about the commercial. Listen, Nick, is it all right if we go to commercial break? Because I'm all wrapped into the conversation. I forgot about time. Heavens,
Yeah, let's
to
do
my
that.
joy. How about that? We're going to take a commercial break, but when we come back, we're going back to the video and back to the conversation. So family, stay with us because we'll be right back.
Okay, remember what I told you. Be your own boss, love yourself, level up.
Level Up is back for 2024, celebrating Women's History Month in partnership with WVON Chicago and KJLH Los Angeles, highlighting Black women-owned businesses who are making a difference in their communities. You can nominate your business or one of your favorite Black women-owned businesses for a chance to become one of 5 finalists who will participate in an in-person, live on-air Shark Tank-style pitch party on Tuesday, April 2nd at the Fittler Club. The winner will be selected by a panel of corporate sector judges and will receive a grand prize valued at $5,000. Deadline for submissions is Friday, March 22nd. Visit wordradio.com/level up to nominate the best of the best in Black women-owned businesses. Level Up 2024 is brought to you by Comcast, the Pennsylvania Lottery, Keystone First, and Bank of America.
Level up, level up, level up.
We gathered real Pennsylvania seniors and asked them how they would benefit from an extra $1,000. Here's what they had to say.
Everything is so expensive these days.
Car expenses, repairs,
my groceries, heating costs,
medications. Sure, I could easily spend $1,000 like that.
Through Pennsylvania's property tax rent rebate program, eligible seniors and adults with disabilities could receive up to $1,000. Check your eligibility and apply online. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
85 years ago, Independence Blue Cross was founded to provide peace of mind when accessing health care. Our first members were employees of Independence Hall. We started where our country started. I'm Greg Devins, CEO of Independence, thanking you for making us the leading health insurer in the region and the only health plan you need to know. Our promise for the last 85 years and the next 85 is to deliver the quality healthcare coverage you and your families deserve.
Starting March 3rd, tune into Afro Unity Beats, Sundays at 5 p.m., hosted by Brother Shamari, David Barnes, and Patrick Adsadu. Afro Unity Beats features contemporary Afro beats melded with traditional African, Caribbean, and Black-rooted musical forms from around the diaspora. Check out the weekly artists from different parts of the diaspora discussing the latest sounds from their part of the world and the history of their musical origins. That's Afro Unity Beats every Sunday, except the fourth Sunday at 5 p.m. only on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of Progressive Black Talk Media, WURD.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Well, welcome back, family. You are tuned in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick right here on WURD. I was sharing before the commercial break that I'm going to share the video once again so that we can break this down. We can talk about this video. Look at that sugar lump is back. But before we do that, family, I see that you are commenting and I don't want you to feel ignored. So we're going to share your comments. Eric shares, I agree, Dr. Z. Trust, honesty, and maturity are the key factors in sustaining a healthy and long-loving relationship. Our beloved Joanne Kemp, that is, she shares, Dr. Z, what if your friend needs some money and your partner says no? No, hello. Let me leave that question up there for a little bit.
Well, again, I will stick with, you cannot prioritize your friend over your relationship. The idea is relationship first. So I think that is a conversation that needs to be had, because money, that's no expertise. Money is a whole nother ball game, right? That's a whole nother level to it. But if my partner says no and it's our money combined, I have to honor that. I have to be okay with that. But again, everything goes back to a good conversation. Let's talk about it. Is it a loan? Will we be getting the money back? I think everything goes into having healthy conversations.
Well, let me ask you, to our beloved Joanne's point, what if it's not your money combined? What if you're dating and you're serious about this person, this individual, and what if it's you have your individual money, but you've shared with your significant other, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here. What if you share with your significant other? So so and so wants to borrow some money, and I'm just sharing this with you because I want you to know, and I want to be open and honest with you. And your significant other says, absolutely not.
That's tricky. I feel like at this point, if it's my money individually and there is not one pot, then realistically, I don't know. You can really
felt your energy.
I don't know if you can really tell me what to do with my money. However, I do feel like I need to take what you say into consideration deeply.
Right.
Don't want you to feel like I'm not listening to you, and I do want to try to honor it as much as I can. But if my friend is in a situation, and this is not an ongoing thing where the friend is constantly asking me for money, this is just me, Zenida, not even Dr. Z. Me, Zenida, say I'm going to help my friend out, especially if I know this is my friend and they really need some support in this time. No.
All right. No, yeah, exactly. Look at both of us. No, both of us. What do you think?
I'm siding with, like, it depends how serious the relationship is. If y'all are indeed, regardless if you have separate or joint accounts, and you're serious with this person, if your significant other was like, no, I think you got to ride with your significant other, like, and they have to give you a valid. I think you have to give you a valid reason, but I think you need to side with that person, that your significant other. Take that consideration. Like, they saying no, all right, now, because I think that, again, it's a boundary that if you do that after they already voiced their opinion, I don't think the relationship will be the same after that. There's always going to be some type of doubt or some type of.
So the trust is broken.
It could be trust. It's going to be an issue coming up. It's not going to be like, all right, it's over with. Nah. Especially, I'm not going to get biased, but especially with a woman, oh no, it's going to come up again. Tell you down the road, 2 years from now, 3 years, it doesn't matter.
But you're being honest with her. You're saying
it's gonna come up again. She ain't gonna forget.
Wait, Noel, have you had this experience? Wait,
somewhere, but best believe it's festering.
It's not going away.
Oh yeah,
no. Are you all right, Noel? I feel like
we hit a trauma button, Noel.
Listen. 10 years from now, you remember? Like, wait, who? What? Yeah.
Remember that time? Right. Yeah, okay. So 10 years now, you're married and everything, and she's going to come back and say, "Remember that time?"
Yeah, women are not forgetting. Nah, they're gonna hold on to that.
But even if you're just dating, you're just like.
But as I said, it has to be serious. If you're just dating, I don't think anybody has a right to kind of voice what you're doing with your money. But if you're serious.
Well, yeah, you're dating, but you're serious. You're like, this is you're acknowledging this is my significant other.
And if you're dating with, I guess what we're getting married. Yeah, especially if you get married. Yeah,
Well, now see, that's different. So let's say prior, you're serious. This is your significant other. You've acknowledged this. Everybody knows. Oh, well, you see one, you see the other. These two are a couple. So we've acknowledged this, but we're not yet engaged. So at that point, or is it?
I wouldn't do it, fellas. Your piece is better. Like, you gotta buy your piece. I guarantee you that piece that you just having before, it's gonna be shaky.
oh no, Dr. Z, he needs help. No, this is PTSD
You
right
need to
here.
sit on my sofa right here. I need to talk to my friend. Okay. My male friend. I'm glad to know, Noel, that if I need a loan and I'm in a hole and you're in a serious relationship, I cannot call you. Thank you. Thank you for putting this live on the air.
I ain't send it, but I'll send it from my son. His account. That's the loophole.
That's the loophole. Oh my goodness. Wait, Alfred shares. Oh my goodness. Y'all have me cracking up. Alfred shares if there's individual money and there is not a marriage, then one's individual money is theirs. And the dating party should respect that. Alfred shares, we are back to one size does not fit all circumstances. And Eric shares, well, it's better to say no. Apologize to the friend politely, wish them well, and hope for the best.
I know I can't call Eric. I'm seeing all the people, Carol, that we cannot call if we need a loan.
But wait,
Eric,
he
thanks
shares,
for letting me know. Thank you. Thank you.
He said slide them a couple of dollars secretly, so he's going to the kid's account too. Okay.
Yes.
And
Back
Alfred
door.
shares, look, smiling. Noel is keeping it real. Okay. Okay. Val is just over there smiling. She's, hey, babe, that's our boo. Hey, Val. She's sending love to everybody. Now, this right here, this is my boo, the Mary Jane girl. What? That's Val Young right there. Thank you for joining us. Alfred shares, Carol, a true friend. One, not put the other in that situation of asking. Oh, so a true friend wouldn't even ask. But that's not fair, is it? Yeah, well, wait, Malcolm is cracking up in all caps. He shares, agreed, Noel, agreed. Alfred said, I would not. And Craig, thank you for joining us. Craig shares, I agree with you on that, Dr. Driver. I am proud of you too. Your old co-worker, Craig Rainey from George Hill. I'm tuned in to Word all day, every day. And wait, Smitty shares, look, my wife is the bank. So
keyword wife. That's different. Keyword. I feel like it's a little, in my opinion, I feel like that's a little different. Wife.
It's different. So Smitty, let us know. I mean, when you two were dating, when you were serious but not yet engaged, when you were dating, would the situation have been different? Because she wasn't yet the bank, right? Or maybe she was. Let us know. Maybe she was. Maybe Smitty said, yeah, I gave it all. Once I said I love you, I gave it all. I don't know. Eric shares, this is a great topic. Too many answers and options. Lord have mercy.
But let me jump in from Noel, who's sending me the money from my little nephew their account, and to someone that said they're sliding me the money. They're sliding the money. Who was that? Someone said they're sliding the money. Now that goes to the point too that I said doing things in secrecy. I appreciate you sliding me the money, but then now when it comes out that you gave me the money from the baby's account, or you slid it in my hand like the old church ladies do in church, right? They put it in your hand so no one can see it.
Right.
When it comes out now our friendship, which is really a platonic friendship, may have a question mark.
See, it will have a question mark. How about that? Noel is going to send you a card from your grandmother. That's how it's going to come, with some money from grandma.
Merry Christmas. Late Christmas gift.
We're thinking of you, baby, from grandma. That's what Noel is going to do. So, family, OMG, you all have me cracking up tonight. Let me just share that, okay? For those of you who have just joined us, welcome. You are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD. We are talking about dating, okay? Dating, but having friends of the opposite sex and sharing that, okay, with your significant other. Now, I was sharing with you that Dr. Z brought some friends with her. Well, she's brought another friend with her. He has not yet seen the video, so he is waiting in the background to join us. I'm going to join him bring him into join him. Do y'all hear me? I'm going to bring him into the conversation, and then we're going to share the video, and then we're going to take a commercial break so we can all breathe and digest it and come back and dig deep. So, family, I invite to the conversation Kenyatta Reed. Hey there, Kenyatta. Welcome to the conversation.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Kenyatta's serious. Kenyatta, we're gonna break you down. Listen, when we get to this conversation,
Carol, I said,
you
if I'm going to talk about this, let me bring my male friends, my
okay?
personal male friends with me. You know, what way to
You
do it? Let me bring in my
listen.
real male friends here.
You are not ready. Okay, so I'm going to cue up the video. So
Sure.
sit back and let's just check it out.
Date a man that doesn't have any female friendships.
Bingo.
I don't want to date a man who only gets input from other men and who has all women in two categories: your mother or your aunties or someone I want to sleep with. You have to have a broader spectrum on women and their value in your life if you're going to be with me.
Totally. Well, first off, only getting information and opinions from other men sounds terrifying.
Terrifying.
So I encourage that to not be what anybody does ever, but you're totally right, because the more we keep talking about can you have friends of the opposite sex, the more I start feeling like everybody is like primal animals in a zoo. You literally cannot physically be around someone of the opposite sex without just like your clothes coming off. Like I don't do it. I don't, and I would never have any relationship that I'm ever in. Like, I'm not going to tell my partner, you can't be around women, because if I feel like I have to tell you that, what does that say about what I think you're like when I'm not with you? Mm-hmm. That I can't trust you to be around women, that like platonically. I would say that says more about my choices and who I'm with, because I'm never going to feel like I have to control you or I have to monitor the friendships that you are in.
Well, family, that is the video. That is the topic of this hour. We are talking with Dr. Z. She has brought with her some friends. It's time for us to take a short commercial break. So that gives us time to digest and process what we just experienced, the video that we just shared. Family, stay with us, but be ready to talk about this when we come back.
It's time for the Philadelphia Flower Show, March 2nd through the 10th at the Pennsylvania Convention Center. Get ready to enjoy incredible displays created by premier floral and landscape designers. The show will also feature gardening ideas, shopping, free family programs, and educational sessions. Don't miss United by Flowers, the Philadelphia Flower Show, where magic happens and where people from all walks of life come together as one. For tickets, visit phsonline.org. Don't miss this phenomenal show, March 2nd through 10th, phsonline.org.
Tune in to Eco Word Magazine, hosted by POC, the first Friday at 10 a.m. for the PA Lottery Eco Word Fact of the Month. Brought to you by PA Lottery, benefiting older Pennsylvanians every day.
Family Therapy Vignette Moments with Dr. Lucille Ijoy. It's March, you know. Make a note. The calendar reminds us it's almost time to vote. Yes, it's March, you know. Make a note. Turn in your ballot. It's time to vote. Now, some people go in person. They make a note. They go to the polls. They're ready to vote. There's some good helpers at the poll. They are really willing to help you vote. Yeah, they're ready and willing to do this to help you vote. Come on, everybody. Say it together. We all are registering. We register. We vote. We must. We register. We vote. We must. This is Dr. Lucille Ijoy.
Represent, represent.
Want the latest in word swag? Check out the shop tab on wordradio.com. Hoodies, tees, and more in a variety of colors. It's the shop tab on wordradio.com. You can look good and show the world that you're all about Black Talk Media.
No, what's the word, boy? What's the word? What's the word?
WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD with yours truly, Carol Riddick. All right, so we have a limited amount of time. I'm going to fall back and be quiet. We just watched a video, and I'm curious to know what you think and how you feel.
Well, should I go first?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So, real quick, I agree on about 60% of what they said. I think that I think the problem I seen Steve Harvey say that one time on the show, like, he don't have any female friends, and it was crazy. It's like, well, why would he say that? Because he's looking at it. I guess that's what she made a comment about being rational, and meaning that you can make a decision to not sleep with this woman if you would like to. But his response was kind of like irrational to me. Like, why would I be around women if I'm not trying to sleep with them? And it was weird because I don't understand how men believe and think that way. But I think if your man knows that that's the way he thinks, then that's okay for him not to have female friends, because he knows exactly what he's capable of. He's not past that. I can't get through that. I don't want to be around that. And he's not involving himself in that. Me, on the other hand, I have a unique situation. I grew up in a house with 5 women. I'm the youngest brother, was second to the youngest. All my sisters are older than me. So I've always been able to obtain female platonic relationships because I've had it throughout my life, as well as cousins and all that. Now, a lot of women don't like that because they're looking at it as you got too many women around. There's some insecurities there, because every situation, every friendship, every female relationship dynamic is different because everybody has different personalities. And a woman that's in your space is not going to understand those personalities. So it could be a conflict with some women. I think that's some security issues there, but I do understand in the sense.
One thing I want to add to the discussion, because I think we've been talking about existing or pre-existing relationships or friendships. What about new friendships?
Oh, no, I don't believe in a lot of new friends at all. So whether male or female, you obtain the new friends, unless it's through business. At the end of the day, we all friends. So if it's somebody that I could be friends with, and that person comes in your life, depending on what the situation is, hopefully we all could be friends. Like, you can talk to that person around me. It's not a pop-up situation where's the person come from. I know how the relationship started. It's all about transparency. So I'm not big on new friends, especially female friends at this age. I'm big 45. So I don't know how many friends I'm gonna meet unless it's business associated. But then if it's a business association and if it's something that you're doing, a lot of times if you're an entrepreneur, those relationships cultivate a little differently. The times are not normal when you might have to meet, depending on what you're doing. The days are not normal as far as when you got me on a Saturday. It's not a 9 to 5 situation. So your significant other need to be privy of that. But again, I'm not big on new friends unless it's something associated to business.
I'm in agreement with that. I'm not big on new friends. I'm like, Smitty shares, me and my wife, we talk about everything. Alfred shares, Dr. Z, you are right. What is done in the dark will definitely come to the light. And yes, develop the question mark. Absolutely. Ms. Joanne shares, so when your girlfriend or boyfriend breaks up with you, your friend is still there. And Eric shares, as it pertains to that video, they just sound like the Real Housewives of fill in the blank, demanding. Sorry. Alfred shares, as stated, growing up with majority sisters, it gives one a different sense of security and perspective of the issue at question.
And I don't know, in the housewife thing, I don't know. I understand a woman. I'm not a woman, so I understand the perspective that she's going to feel odd if you don't have no women around you. Like, are you a womanizer? Are you this? Are you that? Why you don't have any women around you? But I do know men, and I'm glad none of my friends, I can't say no names. Nobody knows who my friends are, right? So I've had friends in the past that they be looking at me like, yo, how you friends with women? They don't understand. It's like, huh? They
really?
Like, do that to this person, do that. I'm like, no, they ain't the type of relationship I have. And they really don't get it. They think it's a plan or a plot to try to be with them down the line, because men know how men work, right? We know that friend is hanging in the tuck. And at the end of the day, when the time is right and you're a little vulnerable, things might come about. So men feel that all men are like that because you have some men that got that little tactic going around.
Ms. Joanne shares, so what does that say when the man doesn't want female friends because he can't trust himself? That just says he has no control and he cannot be trusted.
I think they
That's
can be
interesting
that. I
point.
also think that if we look at it from a counseling perspective, he does have a level of self-awareness that's good, right? That he understands that there are some areas in my life that I'm not as strong in, or this is not just a need for me, right? Maybe you're all I need. I don't need anyone else. I don't need any other friendships. So I do think it can raise a question mark, but I also think it can also speak to their own level of self-awareness. And that is so pivotal for relationships, right? Self-awareness, knowing what you're good at and knowing what you're not so good at is so key. And being able to have that conversation with your partner. And then we got to be careful, because if I come to you and I say that this is an area that I struggle in, I'm being vulnerable. So now if you took my vulnerability and then twist it, it may make me feel like I don't want to share with you again an area that I'm still maybe trying to mature. And that doesn't mean I'm a bad person or I can't be a good partner. That just means in the past I've made some mistakes. And I'm not really sure if I'm going to make them same mistakes again, but I don't want to put myself in that predicament if possible. So that somewhat can be commendable, if we change our perspective on it.
Yeah.
Noel, do you have would you like to contribute?
I agree with both points of those. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I agree with both points of those, but I wanted to point out, like in the video of those two young ladies, I think both of their backgrounds, just because I know I don't know them personally, but I know them because they're sports psychos. So like the woman that's predominantly speaking, her brother is was a football player, Jonathan Teller, whatever, thing like that. So I think the way they might have been raised or who they have been around, they've been around a lot of men, so that's what they're expecting their brothers. They probably had that type of, that expectation as well. So they probably find it weird if a man didn't have that.
Sure.
I just think that maybe also, the background of that particular woman or male.
Well, family, I will share that Alfred is sharing it may be that the man is minimizing uncomfortable situations, not because of himself, but it may be because of others, his female friends. Eric shares, look, that's why you look before you leap. You have that talk before you walk the walk. And Smitty shares, good night, family and friends. My wife said it's bedtime. Well,
you go ahead to bed.
Well, good night, Smitty.
Do you guys think age plays a difference? Because I know at 43 right now, or 40, I turned 44 now yesterday, but at this age now,
birthday.
I can definitely maintain better, platonic relationships than I was when I was 21, 22. I know that's a big difference. How I am now is that I'm more mentally mature, where I can actually say, hey, this is all that relationship is, and I'm not looking for anything else.
I also think with this topic with a woman, and Dr. Z, you can tell me if this makes sense or not, that if a man he really doesn't have a lot of women around him, have friendships with females, that she should really be curious about his relationship with his mom, and what that relationship looks like. And even if she's not alive anymore, what that relationship looked like when she was alive, back in the day, do he bring her up? The sisters in his family, does he respect them in a sense? How do he talk about them? Like, I'm always around my sisters and around my family, so women can understand my relationship with women within my life. But if a man doesn't have a lot of females around, and he have female siblings as well as cousins or auntie and all that, and they're not necessarily around, or he got all these broken relationships and just one is there, but he doesn't talk to these other ones, then she may have to look at that a little differently.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Family, first of all, friends, I want to say thank you so much. I'm going to start the close of tonight's show just a minute earlier because I've invited someone to join us this evening. But fellas, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Dr. Z, thank you as always, because I love when you come. That's my girl. That's my boo. But family, as we begin to close tonight's show, just praise God from whom all blessings flow. In response to one of our family members, Sharon's phone call just the other day, I began asking you to take the time to pray for whatever's heavy on your heart and for those in need. Today, I've invited someone special to come and join us when the time comes, because he's going to call in just a moment to join the conversation. But I wanted to make you aware in the event you did not want to participate in prayer, but because of all of the violence that we're experiencing, everything that is taking place and everything that is going on, I did ask our beloved Pastor Black of Gospel Temple Baptist Church to come and just say a short prayer with us and for us. But until he calls and joins in, I just want to thank you. Just thank you so much as you continue to support Love and Life. I thank our guests for sharing your time, your energy, your attention, your space, your spirit, and the information. Just thank you so much, and your love with the family. Welcome to the family. Family, I thank you for doing the same. As always, you know you're my love bugs. Yes, you are. Thank you, everybody that contributed to all of the conversations. Special thanks to Niall and Nick for all that you do. You know, I could not do this without either one of you. Once again, happy birthday to all of our love bugs. Family, I want to remind you that I will not be on the air next week, but I am always with you in love and in spirit. Yes, I am. I will return on the air, however, on Monday, March 18th. I'm going to invite Pastor Black to the conversation. But before I do, I want to tell you that, remember, we're all in this together. So I'm asking you to be good to you, but be good to those around you. And know that I love you. Yes, I do. But God loves you so much more. So please be careful out there. You hear me, family? You hear me? Have a great rest of your night, a great weekend, all that good stuff. Pastor Black is coming, so don't you log off just yet. So I'm going to take this time to ask Pastor Black to join us. But remember, we love you, okay? Pastor Black, welcome to the conversation. Good evening.
Good evening, family. Good evening, Carol. Good evening. Good evening. I appreciate you asking me to do this today. Let us pray. Eternal God, we give you thanks and praise for life.
Yes, God.
Thank you for another day. Yes, and we beseech thee at this hour that you can do for us what we are certainly unable to do for ourselves, and empower us to do for ourselves what we can do. We ask you to look upon the city of Philadelphia and the world in the impending violence and disturbances that come in our city, in our nation, and in our world. We ask you to have your way. We thank you for the family. We thank you for the conversation. And we ask your continued grace and mercy and peace over the entire world. It's in Christ's name that we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Amen. Thank you so very much, Pastor Black. Family, thank you. We love you. We love you. We love you. But God loves you so much more. You be sure to join us Monday through Thursday, 7 till 9 p.m. right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Have a good night, everybody.